Hi there, this is just my BTEC Business Level 3 mini-series, continuing with the Unit 2 Developing Marketing Campaign. Lesson 1 was just about writing a quick introduction to your marketing campaign, and Lesson 2 today is about writing the aims and objectives. So before we have a look at the aims and objectives aspect of a marketing campaign, let's just remind ourselves actually what one is. So what is a marketing campaign itself? Well, let's just give ourselves a random product. Remember, I think it's important to note that when you come to do your marketing campaign, you're not actually carrying out a marketing campaign. What you're doing is you're writing the proposal for the marketing campaign, as in taking in all the considerations as to how the marketing campaign would work. So that's important to note. But anyway, this is kind of a sort of process just to give you an idea or a reminder of what a marketing campaign is. So let's have say we've got a bottle here, new bottle of lemonade that's coming onto the market, and this product needs promoting, otherwise it will not sell. So if you develop this product and then just left it in the factory, didn't tell anyone about it, then of course this particular product might not sell because of course nobody knows it's there. So you have to market it, don't you? You have to tell people that it's there and available. A business objective might be that we would like to promote this product to our target audience, and we want to make some money from selling this product. That could also be another business objective. I'm keeping it all basic because I just want to put it into context for you. We want to increase our brand awareness of this particular product as well. That could be another sort of aim, if you like, of the marketing campaign, or an overall objective of the business. We want to increase our social media following. That could also be another business aim, or could be another marketing campaign objective. What did our customers say and want? Well, so when the business did some market research when they were developing this product, what did the customers say and want about the product in the stages of development, in the final stages, and so forth? What are they actually saying about the product? Does anything need changing? How much resources and money do we have for this campaign? Very significant. So for example, would you put in, say, £5 million into promoting this particular product? Well, likely you're not going to put that amount of money into promoting the product. Why? Because of course you might not get that £5 million back from spending it all. Now, of course, popular products, say like a new iPhone or a new iPad and the Apple range, for example, they may spend a few £1 million on the launch of the new products. Well, that's okay, because of course they know they're going to get that money back. So whenever you're kind of putting together a marketing campaign, the actual money, or the budget as it's known, is vital, because you want to know that you're going to have enough to be able to carry out a successful campaign, whilst also at the same time not going to overspend and sort of struggle, if you like, to get that money back through the campaign. So it has to be relevant. How long should the campaign be, and when should we start, or where should we start promoting this particular product? That's another sort of common thing that you would do if you were doing a marketing campaign. The length of the campaign is very significant. You know, sometimes some campaigns could be a week, could be a month, could be 6 months, could be the whole year. It really does depend, and you'll find that out when you come to do your marketing campaign yourselves. In the exam, it tells you how long the marketing campaign is going to be. And of course, when you're doing and writing a marketing campaign, you might set some objectives. What do you hope to achieve from the marketing campaign? And do those objectives align with the business overall objectives? Because that's important as well. You might want to do a marketing campaign, but you don't want to go off on your own tangent away from the actual business's overall objectives. It's very important to note that as well. What channels of promotion are available to us? That's another thing that you would say if you've got a marketing campaign. Social media, TV, newspapers, those are kind of the things where you would start to tell people about particular products and services. There's lots of others, of course, but we'll talk about that in another video. And are we ready? Are we ready to launch the marketing campaign? Well, possibly not, but just to give you a basic overview of this particular marketing campaign, yes, we are ready. And the launch is a 2-month campaign with a £100,000 budget to our target audience. And in this case, we're saying the target audience is 15 to 30-year-olds. And the overall objectives of the marketing campaign are to increase sales, obviously, because this is a new product, and social media following, and to measure the success at the end. Now, I kept it all basic, but I was just trying to give you an overview of what a marketing campaign is. So this is an important slide as well. It's the mark scheme, and as you can see from the assessment focus on the screen there, the marketing aims and objectives drops into four different bands there, or five if you take into case band 0. But there's four main bands, and of course you can get up to 8 marks. Let's just jump straight up to band 4 and see where you can achieve 7 to 8 marks for your particular aims and objectives. So this is the guidance for the examiner. So there is a comprehensive coverage of relevant, rationalized marketing aims and objectives with good development, evaluation relevant to context. So more about that later, but that does mean that you can't just write just 2 or 3 marketing aims and objectives without giving some kind of rationalization and what you hope to achieve from them, and also that it is relevant to the context of the whole controlled assessment. That's very important. But hopefully from this video you're picking up 1 or 2 pieces of information as we go through. Anyway, what are aims and objectives in a marketing campaign, and how are they decided? Well, not all of this information is needed directly in the controlled assessment you're doing, but I do think it's important to sort of give you a basic understanding of what an aim and objective is and the part it plays in the marketing campaign itself. So let's take a look. So marketing objectives are specific, measurable goals that a business wants to achieve through its marketing efforts. They play a crucial role in guiding the development of a marketing campaign by providing clear direction, helping measure success, aligning the team, and ensuring that resources are used efficiently. So that's just gives you an overview of what a marketing objective is. So how are marketing objectives decided? So if you've got a business and then you've got a product and then you want to market that particular product, there are certain factors that the business might consider that when it comes to setting those marketing aims and objectives. So let's have a look at an example of some of them. So some of the factors could be that it must align, or doesn't necessarily have to align, but must be considered alignment with the business's overall objectives. Okay, so for example, if a business objective is to increase revenue by 20%, a related marketing objective might be to boost sales, leads, or product conversions. Another factor in deciding a marketing objective could be market research and analysis. Conduct through market research to understand the current market conditions, customer preferences, and competitive landscape. So likely businesses will have done some market research before they launch the product, and then when I say market research, they may have done questionnaires, surveys, interviews, those kind of things on their particular product. Why do they do that? Well, they do it because they want feedback on it to see whether the customer's going to like it, buy it, how much they would pay for it, or if there's any changes that are needed to the product. Another factor in deciding the marketing objective is actually understanding the target audience. So analysis of the target audience needs, behaviors, and preferences is vital that you have a true understanding of who you're selling it to and why. Another factor is resource and budget assessment. Businesses will do an evaluation of the available resources, such as money, personnel, people, and the tools and equipment that they have to enable them to make a marketing campaign successful. Couple more then, the setting of SMART objectives. Well, we know that when we do these aims and objectives that they must be SMART, and I'll talk more about that. Another factor that could influence an aims and objectives is the competitor analysis. So businesses, when they're setting these aims and objectives, will look at their competitors and see what they're doing. Okay, so it's very important that they have an understanding of all their competitors in the area, or nationally even, maybe depending on the size of the business. Feedback from stakeholders is also another factor. Collaborate with key stakeholders, including sales teams, senior management, and customer services representatives. If you're just about to launch a marketing campaign, it would be good to get feedback from other stakeholders who might have an interest in the business, in the marketing campaign, to see what they think. Different perspectives ensure that objectives are practical, aligned with the company's capabilities. You don't want the marketing department going off on their own without paying consideration perhaps to other departments within the business. This just helps to ensure that the marketing campaign is going to be successful. Setting benchmarks and KPIs, establish benchmarks and key performance indicators to track progress. Now, you may know what a KPI is, you may know what benchmarks are, but they're useful tools in monitoring progress and whether something is successful or not. And if it is, fantastic, and if it's not, changes can be put in place. So setting benchmarks and KPIs plays a part in the overall aims and objectives of a marketing campaign. And also have a look at past campaigns as well. Businesses will do this to see what objectives were set previously, or to see how a previous marketing campaign went, or if it didn't go so well, why didn't it go so well, and how can it be put correct this time round. So there's all these different factors that play important parts. So now let's take a look at the role of marketing objectives and some examples as well. So what is the role of marketing objectives in a marketing campaign? Well, marketing objectives help to give guidance and focus, and they can guide the entire campaign and keep efforts aligned with business goals. And I think I've already mentioned it, but it is important to mention it again so you fully understand it, why you're asked to do this in your particular marketing campaign. It's so that you understand what the business is trying to achieve and what the marketing campaign is trying to achieve as well. So it gives guidance and focus and is normally aligned with the overall business objectives. Marketing campaigns are a measurement of success. So if one of the aims and objectives, say, was to increase sales by 50% within the next 6 months, well, when it gets to the end of the next 6 months, you can measure whether that has actually happened. So it's always a measure of success. Resource allocation, okay, helps business or the marketing campaign to think about resource allocation, helping to prioritize resources to achieve the most significant impact. And also team alignment, ensure all team members are working towards common goals, keeping people busy, keeping them focused and motivated, because objectives have been set and everyone knows what needs to be achieved by a certain time. And also having marketing aims and objectives allows for adjustments to the campaign if the objectives are not being met. And directly below here is some examples of marketing objectives. So here's 5. They're just general ones, just to give you an idea or flavour. You would have to write them like this, but of course you need to add more to them than just the actual marketing objective. You kind of got to justify why it's there, bring in the overall business objective and what the hope is that the marketing objective is trying to achieve. So number 1 could be an example, would be increase brand awareness by 30% within the next 6 months. That's a smart objective, okay, because obviously it's specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, time bound. Number 2, achieve a 20% increase in website traffic over the next quarter. Number 3, boost sales of a specific product line by 15% within 3 months. Gain 1,000 new social media followers by the end of the marketing campaign. And number 5, generate 500 new leads through email marketing within 2 months. These are all just examples, just general examples, by the way, of marketing objectives. Like I say, yours could be similar, but they need to be relevant to the business and the controlled assessment that you're studying and doing. And of course, you need to add more information to them to get into that band 4 marking. So also I'm going to just do this as well, which is just to test your knowledge. So you can pause the video as you go if you want to. Have a go at these questions. There's 3 for you here. and pause the video if you want to. So we've got question number 1, what are marketing objectives and why are they important in a marketing campaign? Name 2 characteristics that marketing objectives should have. Number 3, how do marketing objectives help measure the success of a marketing campaign? Okay, and a few more questions for you as well. Questions 4 to 10. Give an example of a marketing objective focused on increasing customer engagement. Question 5. What's the difference between a business objective and a marketing objective? Explain how a marketing objectives can guide resource allocation during a campaign. And question 7 is, what role do marketing objectives play in aligning team members during a campaign? Question 8, describe one potential consequence of not having clear marketing objectives in a campaign. And number 9, list 3 factors that could or should be considered when setting marketing objectives. Final question, number 10, is why is it important that market objectives are specific and measurable? Again, pause the video whilst you have a go at those questions if you want to. And if you're thinking, is that relevant? Well, I think it absolutely is, because I think it gives you a really good understanding of different sort of reasons as to why aims and objectives are so important in marketing campaigns. So I have another task for you here, just to write some example marketing objectives. I've got some fictional examples for you, and you just need to write 3 marketing objectives. Just practice, just to give you a flavour as to what you're going to be facing. So product launch for a new smartphone. So the scenario here is a tech company is launching a new smartphone with innovative camera technology and extended battery life. The company wants to position the product as a premium option for photography enthusiasts and professionals. So you need to come up with 3 marketing objectives for this particular campaign. So you can pause the video now while you have a go at that. Next up, another scenario for you. Seasonal sale for an online clothing store. So the scenario for this one is an online clothing retailer is planning a seasonal sale to clear out its winter collection. The company wants to attract new customers and encourage repeat purchases from existing customers. So again, you could pause the video now and have a go at writing 3 example marketing objectives for that one. And then finally, rebranding campaign for an eco-friendly cleaning product line. Scenario for this one is a cleaning products company is rebranding its line to emphasize its eco-friendly and sustainable practices. The goal is to attract environmentally conscious consumers and differentiate itself from its competitors. Again, could you come up with 3 marketing objectives for that? So like I say, that was just a little exercise just to get you thinking about 3 different types of marketing objectives for 3 different business scenarios. So finally, we're just going to have a quick look at some things that you need to consider and some examiners' feedback. This is actual feedback from the examiners' reports, given that they write reports at the end of every exam series for each exam that's been taken, and I've had a little read of it. So from the controlled assessment point of view, what should you consider, what's important to include? Well, as I mentioned in my previous video, that you're going to write a very short, brief introduction, so watch that video if you haven't yet. The next thing to do is to write these 3 marketing campaign objectives. They must be SMART, okay, and they must help the business achieve the marketing aims. And now you're only really going to know what those aims are if you make sure that you read part A and part B carefully. Number 2 is to rationalize, in other words, explain why these are appropriate objectives with some reference to the market research data. Now that will definitely move you up a band or so if you mentioned the market research data, so make sure you do that. But for each objective that you've written, okay, it's really important that you then go on to state what is that particular objective going to achieve. as in it's the SMART objective. When should it be achieved by? Will it be achieved within the time frame of the marketing campaign, which in theory it should do. And question 3, or point number 3, is why it supports the business's overall aim. So remember, if you've got a marketing objective that supports the marketing campaign, it should also align nicely with the business's overall aim and objective. And also just mentioning how it's going to be done. So that should help you just to sort of compile what you've done, not just to write 3 objectives without any explanation. That'll keep you down in band 2 if you just do that. And then some examiners' feedback from previous years, and other things to consider. So this is some crucial bits of information. So the examiner said students are continuing to fail to give a justification for the aims and objectives. So few students get above band 2 grading. Students need to see the bigger picture of why aims and objectives are important to the campaign's overall success. So make sure you get some explanation in there. Do not explain why the objective is SMART. This is a common error. Explain why the objective is relevant in context to the business. Okay, that's a really important point. And then most students lifted increased brand awareness or increased revenue from Part B and offered no further development or broke down the objective further. So most students just came up with an idea that they needed to increase brand awareness because that's what they read in the Part B, or the business wants to increase revenue, and then pop that in as their marketing campaign objectives without actually giving proper, having read the Part A and Part B very, very carefully, and then come up with some aims and objectives that were actually really in the context of the marketing campaign and also aligning with the business's overall objective. And then make sure that the objectives you choose fully align with the business overall objective. Well, we mentioned that on a few occasions in this video. And then finally, consider and mention the impact these objectives will have on the marketing mix. So that's important as well, because that's 20 marks. That's in a separate video where we talk about that. But you could mention something just to move you and potentially secure you up into band 4, that if you mention how the objective might have an impact on the marketing mix, that could secure that higher mark for you. Okay, that's it. That's the section on marketing aims and objectives. So if you're following this mini series that I'm doing at the moment on the Unit 2 developing marketing campaign, by now you should have watched the video on how to write the introduction. This video was on the next section, marketing aims and objectives, and then next up is the justification. So look out for that video as well. Thank you for watching.